Welcome to American Outback Overland. Today I am going to be covering two jackets, the Klim Carlsbad and the Klim Badlands Pro. So what I would like to do is go over the reasons why I chose the jacket, the Badlands Pro over the Carlsbad jacket. This is a review I had a hard time finding. Nobody in the local area stocked this jacket, so I was really unable to go and try them on and see them in person. So what I wanted to do was provide a up-close look at things that I liked about the jackets, things that ended up swaying me towards the Badlands jacket. Not so much 100% sold on the Badlands. I love the Badlands jacket. It does have some downfalls, but I do enjoy it better and feel more comfortable with my purchase over the Carlsbad. So this is the Carlsbad jacket. It is a lighter weight adventure jacket. Some call it a light ADV or ADV light jacket. And you can really tell that in the fabric. So the fabric is lighter, which is very nice if you live in warm climates. I live in Carlsbad, California, so it's warm most of the year. But you can find all those details on Revzilla. There's a million reviews out there comparing, seeing exactly what the features are. But what I want to talk about are the features that the details that swayed me to the Badlands. So first off, the number of vents, in my opinion, is slightly inadequate. So in warm weathers, you would like to have a little bit more ventilation. I have one vent here, and one vent that goes up the arm. And that's all the venting. This one, I don't really consider a vent because all I would have to do is open up the jacket, and now I have the same amount of venting as this vent right here. It is a little deeper, so you could store something in it. But that was one of the big gripes I had with the Carlsbad jacket, was that for a warm weather jacket, the venting seemed very inadequate. In fact, there is no exhaust vent for the arms. Now on the Carlsbad, or on the Badlands jacket, right here you can see there is a exhaust vent on the back of the bicep, and then there is an intake on the front of the bicep. So it allows that air to flow through. Now when I would ride with this jacket, I would get air into the jacket, but it has nowhere to go. So it would just come in and recirculate and not exhaust out. Kind of a oversight, I think, by Klim. I think that they could have done a little bit better job with adding some exhaust venting. Another complaint I had regarding the Carlsbad is this zipper right here goes both ways. So, which is good if you're putting your gloves on. If you're putting on additional gear, heavyweight gloves, you can zip this up, create a little bit more space, and you're not fighting with the Velcro strap. But I also noticed as I was riding throughout the day, this zipper would start to creep up. And by the end of the day, my zipper would be sitting like this. Now, not a huge issue. They do use YKK zippers, so they are high quality, but I felt like this was almost an unneeded feature. I feel like if I zipped this all the way down from the top down, that would be enough venting. I didn't feel like I really gained a whole lot of venting by undoing that. So just a little pet peeve on the Carlsbad, something that I never would have gotten shopping online or even going to a store. I wouldn't know that information. Overall, the jacket was fantastic. In fact, I like the pocket design over the Carlsbad, over the Badlands. The pockets are much more usable. I prefer the top flat jacket pocket that I could reach down while seated on the bike versus the side access jacket pocket on the Badlands. So this pocket, while seated and have gloves on, is virtually useless. I have a hard time getting my hand in, I have a hard time fitting anything, and then I worry about it falling out if I'm just using the flap, and don't rip it up. So I really wish they would have done the top loading pocket versus the side loading pocket. And I'm sure it's because they needed room for the vent, but I wish they would have taken that design aspect to the Badlands. Another thing about the Carlsbad is there is no zipper. There's no zipper on that pocket. So if you have a flap, something stored in there, and you take a spill, this gets pulled open, whatever you have stored in there might get lost. So keep that in mind. Overall, I feel like it's very, very light on storage. You do have two pockets here, and you have a little pocket here, and a little pocket here. But that's about it. You have a couple little zip pockets here. I don't know, I felt like the Badlands was really where it was at for storage. You had much more pockets on the inside and the outside of the jacket. You have a rear pocket on the very back. You can see here, there's a rear pocket that you zip down here and you can access through the side. So what sold me on the Badlands? It wasn't the price. The Badlands retailed for $9.99. The Carlsbad retailed for $5.99, so quite a big jump in price there. But I felt like the quality of the Badlands, I felt more secure. I feel safer in the Badlands if I went down. The elbow pads are very lightweight. The fabric is very lightweight compared to the Badlands that has the super fabric, which I feel like would hold up much better if you took a spill on the asphalt. In fact, most adventure riders, including myself, we spend a lot of time getting from A to B on the asphalt. So I like to have maximum protection while riding, whether that be on the dirt or the asphalt. And I just feel like overall this fabric felt sturdier. The jacket itself, although they're both CE2 level armor rating, this just had a more steady feel to it than the Carlsbad did. The Carlsbad was roomier. It felt a little bit more comfortable for longer trips, hot weather trips. But overall, I really liked the feel that I got while riding the Badlands. Now, what I didn't like about the Badlands, I really had a hard time with the weight of the fabric. It's a plus and it's a minus. The jacket, in comparison, is much heavier in build than the Carlsbad. Much heavier. In fact, I've never worn a jacket up until this point of this heavyweight fabric. So it took a little bit to get used to that weight on the shoulders, and there is a kidney belt that does help alleviate that on long trips. But when you sit down on the bike, if you're in between sizes like I am, I'm a tighter medium, but a large is a little bit too big for me. The fabric tends to bunch up when you first get on your bike. And you can see that on some reviews online. People talk about how heavyweight the fabric is, but it is really heavy. And I don't know if there's really any way that a review can truly convey that message. But it's very heavyweight and will take a little bit to get used to. The other thing that almost was a deal breaker for me on the Badlands was the armpits. So there is a lot of material right here. There's a lot of seams that come together. And this is very heavyweight material. And what happens is when you're seated on the bike, the armpit material gets pushed up into where your bicep and your pec muscles meet. And creates a pressure point. So I went ahead and I actually ordered a second jacket. That is something I don't feel like you should have to do with a jacket of this price point. But I'd been reading that there were differences and inconsistencies within each jacket, and that was true. The medium that I had previously was very tight, to the point that very tight in the armpit, to where I felt like I couldn't wear the jacket for more than an hour without getting a pressure point. This jacket, the second jacket that came in, I wore on a 3-day trip just recently. No issues whatsoever. Probably spent roughly about 30 hours on the bike, and no issues whatsoever. So if you find yourself experiencing pressure points or the fit might be a little different, go ahead and try another one. That is something that I think Klim needs to work on. There should not be such huge differences between the sizing. Other than that, most of the other details you can find on YouTube. There's tons of other reviews that go into the details of each jacket. Revzilla has a ton of reviews that will get into each intricate detail. But what I wanted to go over was the differences between these two jackets. That was the hardest decision I had to make, and it actually meant that I purchased both jackets. So if you're looking for a lightweight adventure jacket that's not sturdy feeling like the Badlands, you don't care about minimal storage, go for the Carlsbad. It's more comfortable. I find it, the lightweight material feels really good when you're just zipping around town or light trails. If you're going to be doing heavy duty touring, long distances on the bike, you want maximum protection, go for the Badlands. It has many more benefits. The Gore-Tex is higher quality. You get the super fabric. You get much better venting than the Carlsbad, and it's just an overall much better touring jacket designed for long days in the saddle, extended trips. I'm not saying the Carlsbad couldn't do it. I'm just saying that you might not get as many benefits. For example, you're on a long tour, you want these pockets to have a zipper to keep the water out. This does not have a zipper. So one of your main pockets on your jacket will not keep water out. So just little things like that I want to point out that you just do not get on other reviews. And so I hope this review helps make a decision. Please follow me on YouTube, and you can also find me on Instagram at american.outback.overland, and see you on the trail.